now. It is a promise.
What's out, Thomas? What have you heard?
Oh, look you, Anne. Her eyes are closed.
Her eyes?
Why, that's strange. Our Ruth's eyes are open.
Your Ruth is sick?
I'd not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know. It's death driving into the fort and hooked.
Oh, pray not. Why, how does your child ail?
She ails as she must. She never waked this morning, but her eyes open, and she walks and sees not and hears not. Oh, her soul is taken surely.
They say you've sent for Reverend Hale.
As a precaution only. I heard he had much experience in the demonic arts.
Oh, he has indeed, and found a witch in Beverly last year, and let you remember that.
Now, Goody Ann, they only thought it were a witch. And I am sure there's no element of witchcraft here.
No witchcraft? Now look you, Mr. Paris.
Thomas, I pray you, leave not to witchcraft. Well, I know you, Thomas. You least of all would ever wish such a disastrous charge laid upon me. They will howl at me out of Salem for such corruption in my house.
Now look you, Mr. Paris. I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue. But I cannot if you hold back in this. There are hurtful, vengeful spirits laying hands on these children.
But, Thomas, you cannot call it witchcraft.
Anne, tell Mr. Paris what you have done.
Reverend Paris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in the earth. Believe me, sir, you never saw more hardy babies born. And yet, each would wither in my arms the very night of their birth. I have spoke nothing, but my heart has clamored intimations. And now, this year, my Ruth, my only, I see her turning strange. A secret child she's become this year. She shrivels like a sucking mouth. We're pulling on her life, too. And so I thought to send her to your Tituba.
Tituba? Well, what may Tituba
Tituba
do?
knows how to speak to the dead, Reverend Harris.
Goody, and it is a formidable sin.
Then I take it on my soul. But who else may surely tell us what person murdered my babies?
Woman.
They were murdered, Mr. Paris. And mark this proof. Mark it. Last night, my Ruth were ever so close to their little spirits. I know it, sir. Or how else is she struck dumb except some power of darkness would stop her mouth? It is a marvelous sign, Mr. Paris.
Don't you understand it, sir? There is a murdering witch among us bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will, but you cannot blink it more.
Then you were conjuring last night, weren't you?
Not I. Tituba and Ruth.
Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. Reverend Paris has discovered witchcraft.
In my house, Thomas? In my house, Thomas! They will topple me with this. They will make it a complete...
Your pardons. I only thought to see how Betty is.
Why aren't you at home? Who's with Ruth?
Her grandma come. She's improved a little, I think. She gave a powerful sneeze before.
Ah, there's a sign of life.
I'd fear no more, Goody Putnam. It were a grand sneeze. Another like it will shake her wits together, I'm sure.
Leave me, Thomas. I wish to pray a while alone.
But, Uncle, you prayed since midnight. Why do you not go downstairs
No!
with him?
I will wait till Mr. Hale arrives.
Now look you, sir. Let you strike out against the devil, and the village will bless you for it. Now come down. Speak to them. Pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you'll pray with them.
I have no stomach for disputation, but I will lead them in a song. Let you say nothing of witchcraft yet. The cause is yet unknown. I will not discuss it. I've had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth now, do you hear?
I'm,
If she starts for the window, you call for me at once.
Yes, sir.
There is a terrible power in her arms today. A terrible power.
How is Ruth sick?
It's weirdish, I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night.
Betty, now stop this. Betty, please sit up.
Betty tried beating her. I gave Ruth a good one and it waked her for a minute. Here, let me have her.
No, he'll be coming up soon. Now look you, if they be questioning us, tell them we danced. I told him as much already.
And what more?
He saw you naked.
Oh!
I know it.
Abby, we've got to tell. Witchery's a hanging error. A hanging like they done in Boston 2 years ago. We must tell the truth, Abby. You'll only be whipped for dancing and the other things. Oh? Will be whipped. Abby, I never done none of it. I only looked.
Oh, you're a great one for looking. Aren't you, Mary Warren?
Betty. Now, Betty, dear, stop this. Betty, it's Abigail. You've got to wake up. Betty, I'll beat you. My, you seem improving. I talked to your papa, Betty. He knows now. He knows everything that we did. I want my mama. Betty, what else? Your mama's dead and buried. I'll fly to Mama. Betty, he knows that. He knows everything that we did.
You drank blood, Abby. You drank blood.
You never say that. You will never say that.
You did. You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife. You drank a charm to kill
Shut it! Shut it! Now look, you. All of you. We danced. And Tituba conjured Ruth Putnam's dead sisters. And that is all. And mark this. Let you breathe a word, or the edge of a word about the other things, and I will come to you in the black of some terrible night, and I will bring a pointy reckoning that will shudder your soul. And you know I can do it too. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillow next to mine, and I have seen some reddish work done at night. And I can make you wish you had never seen the sun go down. Sit up, you. You sit up and stop this right now. Everyone got it. I say shut it, Mary. Oh, I'm just going home, Mr. Proctor.
Be you foolish, Mary? Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house, did I not? Why shall I pay you? I am looking for you more often than my cows.
I only come to see the great doings in the world.
Get you home. My wife is waiting with your work.
I'd best be off. I have my Ruth to watch. Good morning, Mr. Proctor.
So, she flies, eh? Where are her wings?
John, you're sure not believing she flies.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Posh. We were just dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle leaped in on us. She took fright is all.
Dancing in the woods. You'll be clapped in the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John. A soft word.
No, Abby, I've not come for that.
You've come 5 miles to see a silly girl fly. I know you better.
I come to see what mischief your uncle's brewing now. Put it out of mine.
John, I'm waiting for you every night.
Abby, you'll put it out of mine. I'll not be coming for you more.
You're surely sporting with me.
You know me better.
I know how you clutched my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. I saw your face when she put me out, John. You loved me then, and you do now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing may say wild things. I have seen you since she put me out, John. I have seen you nights.
I've hardly stepped off my farm this 7 months.
I have a sense for heat, John, and yours has drawn me to my window. Do you tell me you've never looked up at my window?
Perhaps. I have.
I know you, John. I know you. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot dream, but I wake and walk about the house as though I find you coming through some door.
Child.
How do you call me child?
Abby. I may think of you softly from time to time, but I will cut off my hands before I'll ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of mine. We never touched, Abby.
But we did.
We did not.
I marvel how such a strong man may let such a sickly wife...
You'll speak nothing of Elizabeth!
She is telling lies about me. She is blackening my name in the village. She is a cold, sniveling woman, and you turn to her. Let her bring you. I look for the John Proctor that put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what free-tent Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I was taught by all these Christian women and their covenanted men. And now you bid me tear the light out of my eyes. I will not. I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor. And whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, wait.
Get your hands off her! What have you done? What's wrong with her?
She heard me singing and suddenly she was up and screaming. The soul! It's the soul! She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name!
Oh, God forbid.
That is a notorious sign of witchcraft afoot. A prodigious sign.
My mother told me that when they cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
Rebecca, come to her. She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name. There is a hard sickness here, Giles. So you keep quiet.
I've not said a word. No one can testify that I've said a word. Is she going to fly again? I hear she flies.
Man, would you be quiet now?
What have you done?
Pray calm yourselves. I have 11 children, and I am 26 times a grandma, and I have seen them all through their silly seasons. And when it's come upon them, they will run the devil bow-legged, keeping up with his mischief. I think she'll wake when she tires of it. A child's spirit is like a child. You cannot catch it by running after it. You must stand still, and for love, it will soon itself come back.
That's the truth of it, Rebecca.
This is no silly season, Rebecca. My Ruth is bewildered. She cannot eat.
Perhaps she is not hungered yet. Mr. Paris, I hope you are not decided to go in search of loose spirits. I've heard the promise of that outside.
There is a wide opinion that the devil may be among us in this parish, and I would satisfy them that they are wrong.
Then let you come out and call them wrong. Are you our minister or Mr. Hale? Did you consult the wardens of the church before you called this minister to look for devils?
He is not coming to look for devils.
Then what's he coming for?
There are children dying in the village.
I see none dying.
Pray, John, be calm. Mr. Paris, I think you'd best send Reverend Hale back as soon as he comes. This will set us all to arguing in the society again, and we thought to have peace this year. I think we'd best rely on Dr. Griggs now, and Goodfrau.
Rebecca, the doctor is baffled.
If so he is, then let us go to God for the cause of it. There is a prodigious danger in the seeking of loose spirits. I fear it. I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves.
How may we blame ourselves? I am one of 9 sons, the Putnam seed of people of this province. Yet I have but one child left of 8, now she shrivels.
I cannot fathom that, Thomas.
You think of God's word that you should never lose a child, nor a grandchild either, and I bury all but one?
Sit down. When Reverend Hale arrives, you'll proceed to look for witchcraft here.
Yes, Thomas.
You cannot command Mr. Paris. We vote by name in this society, not by acreage.
Oh, I've never heard you so worried on the society, Mr. Proctor. Why, I don't believe I've seen you at Sabbath meetings since snow flew.
I have trouble enough without I come 5 miles to hear him preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. There are many others who stay away from church these days because he hardly ever mentioned God anymore.
That is a drastic charge.
It's somewhat true. There are many who quail to bring their children.
I do not preach for children, Rebecca. It is not the children who are unmindful of their obligations towards this ministry. Where is my wood? My contract provides that I be supplied with all my firewood. And I'm waiting in November for even a stick. And even in November, I have to show my frostbitten hands, like some London beggar.
You are allowed £6 a year for your wood, Mr. Paris.
I am paid little enough without I spend £6 on firewood. The salary is £66, Mr. Proctor. I am not some preaching farmer with a book under my arm. I am a graduate of Harvard College.
Aye, and well instructed in mathematics.
Mr. Corey, you will look far for a man of my kind at £60 a year. I am not used to this poverty. Will I let the thrifty business of Barbados to serve my Lord? I just cannot fathom it. Why am I persecuted here? I cannot offer one proposition, yet there be a howling right of argument. I have often wondered if the devil be in it somewhere. I cannot understand you people otherwise.
Mr. Paris, you're the first minister ever did demand the deed to this house.
I am your third preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be put out like a cat when some majority feels the wind. You people seem not to understand that a minister is the Lord's man in the parish. He is not to be so lightly crossed or contradicted.
Aye.
There is obedience or the church will burn, like all hell is burning.
Can you speak 1 minute without we land in hell again? I'm sick of hell.
It is not for you to decide what is good for you to hear.
I may speak my heart, I think.
Oh, what are we, Quakers? We are not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor. And you may tell that to your followers.
My followers.
I am not blind. There's a party in this church. There's a faction and a party.
Against you.
Against him and all authority.
Why then, I must find it and join it.
He does not mean that.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of this authority. I have a crop to sow and lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? Let's find that party. He says there is a party.
I've changed my opinion of this man. Mr. Paris, I beg your pardon. I never thought you had so much iron in you.
Why, thank you, Giles.
It suggests to the mind, what be the trouble among us all these years? I mean, come to think of it, wherefore everybody else is suing everybody else. I've been to court 6 times this year.
Is it the devil's fault that a man cannot say to you, good morning, without you clap him for defamation? You're old, Giles, and you're not hearing as well as you did.
John Proctor, last month I have only collected 4 pound damages for you publicly saying I burned the roof off.
I never said no such thing,
No.
but I paid you for it, so I hope I can call you deaf without charge. Come along, Giles, and let me drag my lumber home.
1 moment, please, Mr. Proctor. What lumber is that you're dragging home?
My lumber, from out my forest by the riverside.
We're surely gone wild this year. What anarchy is this? That tract is in my bounds. It's in my bounds, Mr. Proctor.
In your bounds. I bought that tract from Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago.
He had no right to sell it. It stands clear in my grandfather's will that
Your
all
grandfather
of the land
had a
between
habit of willing land that never belonged to him, if I may say it plain.
Oh, that's God's truth. He nearly willed away my northern pasture, but he knew I'd give him a swift kick if he said his name to it. Come on, John. Let's get that lumber home. I feel a sudden will. I got to.
You load 1 spook of mine and you'll fight the way home.
And we'll win too, this fool and I.
I'll have my men on you, Corey. I'll have a writ on you.
Really? Please, someone take these.
Good to see you, Mr. Hale. My, they're heavy.
Now, they must be. They are weighted with authority, Mr. Paris.
Well, you do come prepared.
We shall need hard study if it comes to tracking down the old boy. But you cannot be Rebecca Nurse.
I am, sir. Do you know me?
Strange how I knew you. I suppose you look like such a good soul should. We know of your great charities in Beverly.
Do you know this fine gentleman, Thomas Putnam, and his good wife, Anne?
Ah, Putnam. I'd not expected such distinguished company.
Well, it does not seem to help us today. We look to you to come to our house and save our child.
Your child ails too.
Aye, her soul seems flown away. She walks but cannot speak.
She cannot eat.
Cannot eat. Are your children afflicted as well?
No, these men are farmers. John Proctor.
He don't believe in witches.
I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Will you come now, Giles?
No, John, I think not. I have a few quick questions of my own to ask this young man.
I've heard you be a sensible man, Mr. Hale. I hope you'll leave some of it in Salem.
Will you look at my daughter, sir? Well, this morning she's tried to leap out the window, and then I discovered her on the high road waving her arms as though she'd fly.
Tries to fly.
That is a notorious sign of witchcraft. A prodigious sign.
No. Now let me instruct you. We must not look to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are as definite as stone. We must look only to the proper signs and judge nothing beforehand. And I must tell you this, I shall not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me if I should find no trace of hell in this.
Oh, it is agreed, sir. It is agreed. We will abide by your judgments.
Good then. Now, What were your first sign of this strangeness, Mr. Paris?
Well, I discovered my niece Abigail and 10 or 12 other girls dancing in the forest last night.
You permit dancing?
No, sir. It were secret.
Mr. Paris's slave has knowledge of conjuring, sir.
We cannot be sure of that, Goody Ann.
I know it, sir. I sent my child that she should learn from Tituba, who murdered her sisters.
Goody Ann, you sent an innocent child to conjure up the dead.
Let God blame me, not you. Not you, Rebecca. I'll not have you judging me anymore.
Hush.
Reverend Hale, is it a natural work to lose 7 children before they live a day?
7 dead in childbirth, eh?
What book is that, sir?
Ah. Well, here is all the invisible world, caught, defined, and calculated. Here the devil is laid bare of all his brute disguises. Here are all your familiar spirits, your incubi, your succubi, your witches that go by land, by air, and by sea, your wizards of the night and of the day. Have no fear, Mr. Paris. We shall find him if he has come among us. And I intend to crush him utterly if he has shown his face.
Will it hurt the child, sir?
I cannot tell. If she is truly in the devil's grip, then we may have to rip and tear to get her free.
I think I'll go then. I am too old for all of this.
But Rebecca, we may open up the boil for all of our troubles today.
Let us hope for that, sir. I go to God for you, Mr. Paris.
Well, I hope you do not mean we go to Satan here.
Mr. Paris, I wish I knew. Oh, I wish I knew.
Mr. Hale, I have always wanted to ask a learned man, what signifies the reading of strange books?
What sort of book?
I cannot tell. She hides them.
Who does this?
Martha, my wife. I have laid awake many nights and found her in the corner reading of a book. Now, what do you say to that?
Why, that's not necessarily anything, Mr.
It
Corner.
discomforts me. It does. Last night, mark this. I tried and tried to say my prayers, but I could not. And then she closes the book, walks out of the house, and suddenly, mark this now, mark it. I could pray again.
All right, well, the stoppage of prayer, eh? Well, that is strange, Mr. Corey. I should like to speak with you more on this.
Well, I'm not saying she's touched the devil now, but I'd admire to know what she reads and why she reads them. She'll not answer.
I will discuss it, Mr. Corey.
Aye.
Now, mark me. If the devil is truly in her, then you will see some frightful wonders in this room. And I pray you, please, keep your wits about you. Reverend Paris, stand close in case she flies. Now, Betty, dear. Betty, will you sit up? Betty, can you hear me? I am John Hale, minister of Beverly. I've come to help you, dear. Do you remember my 2 little girls in Beverly?
How could this be the devil? Why would he choose my house to strike?
What victory would the devil have to win a soul already had? It's the best the devil wants. Who is better than the minister?
Deep, Mr. Paris.
Now, Betty, dear. Betty, does someone afflict you? It need not be a woman, mind you, or a man. Perhaps a bird invisible to others comes to you. Perhaps a pig or some other beast. Does some figure bid you fly? In nomine Domini Sabaoth, sui felice ite ad infernus. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing in the forest last night?
Why, common dancing is all.
I think I ought to say, sir, that there was a kettle in the grass where they were dancing.
That kettle were only soup.
Soup? What sort of soup were in this kettle, Abigail?
Why, beans and lentils, I
Reverend
think.
Paris, you did not happen to see, did you, any sort of living thing in this kettle? Perhaps a mouse or a spider or a frog?
That frog jumped in. We never put it in.
A frog, Abby?
We never put it in.
Abigail, it may well be your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night?
I never called him. Tituba did.
She called the devil.
I should like to speak with Tituba.
Goody Ann, bring her up.
How did she call him?
I know not. She spoke Barbados.
When she called him, were there any sort of strangeness? Perhaps a sudden cold wind or a trembling below the ground?
I never saw no devil. Betty, you've got to wake up.
You cannot evade
Betty.
me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew from that
She never
kettle?
drank it.
Did you drink it?
No, sir.
Did Tituba ask you to drink it?
Well, she tried, but I refused.
Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer?
I never sold myself. I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. I did drink of the kettle. She made me do it. She made Betty do it. She makes me drink blood.
My baby's blood! No, chicken blood!
Tituba, have you enlisted these children for the devil?
I don't trust with no devil.
Why will she not wake? Are you silencing her?
Allow me, Betty.
You have sent your spirit out upon them, have you not? Are you gathering souls for the devil?
She sends her spirit on me in church. She makes me laugh at prayer.
Oh, she have often laughed at prayer.
She comes to me every night to go and drink blood.
You make me to come to Abby. She make me make
I tell you something. She comes to me when I'm sleeping. She's always making me dream corruptions. Sometimes I wake and find myself standing in an open doorway with not a stitch on my body. I hear her singing in my sleep. I hear her laughing and singing her Barbados songs.
Tituba, I want you to wake this child.
I have no power over this
You
child.
most certainly do, and you will release her from it now. When did you compact with the devil?
I don't compact
You will
with no
confess
devil.
yourself, or I will take you out and I will whip you to your death.
This woman must be hanged. She must be taken out and hanged.
Oh, don't hurt Tituba. I tell him I don't decide to work for himself.
For who? For the devil? No, Tituba. I know that when we bind ourselves to hell, it is hard to break free entirely. But we are going to help you break free. You would be a good Christian woman, would you not?
I saw a good Christian woman.
And you love these children?
I don't desire to hurt little children.
And you love God?
With all my being.
Then in God's holy name, and to his glory, open yourself, Tituba. Open yourself and let God's holy light shine on you. Now, who came to you with the devil? Someone from the village? Someone you know?
Who came with him?
Did you see Sarah Good or Goody Osborne?
Was it a man or a woman who came with him?
Woman.
A woman, you said. What woman?
It was Black Dog.
Oh, you could see him. Why could you not see her?
Well, they was always running around and carrying on.
Salem. Salem witches?
I believe so.
Tituba, you must have no fear to give us all their names. We will protect you. The devil can never overcome a minister. You know that, do you not?
I do.
You have confessed yourself to witchcraft, and that speak a desire to come to heaven's side. We will bless you. You are God's instrument. You have been sent to us to help us to discover the devil's agents among us. You have been chosen, teacher. You've been selected to help us cleanse our village. So speak utterly, teacher. Turn your back on him and face God. Face God. God will protect you. Now, who came to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4, how many?
There was 4. There was 4.
Oh, you said. Who? Who? Their names. We must have their names.
Oh, how many times he bid me kill you, Mr. Paris.
Kill me.
He said Mr. Paris must be here. Mr. Paris, no goodly man. Mr. Paris, mean man and no gentleman. And he bid me rise out of my bed and cut your throat.
Cut my throat.
But I tell him no. I don't hate that man. I don't desire to kill that man. But he said you work for me, Tituba, and I make you free. I give you pretty dress to wear, and you can fly back to Barbados. But I tell him you lie, devil, you lie.
Oh, he lies.
But then he come. He come one stormy night to me and he said, look, I have white women work for me.
White women?
Yes.
And there was Goody Good.
Sarah Good?
I'm Goody Osborne.
Goody Osborne?
Goody Osborne? Goody Osborne were midwife to me 3 times. I begged you, Thomas, I begged you not to call her. My baby's only shriveled in her arm.
Tituba, you must take courage to give us all their names. How can you bear to see them suffering so? Look at them, Tituba. Look at their God-given innocence. Their souls are so tender, we must protect them. The devil is out. He's out and he's preying upon them like a beast upon the flesh of the pure lamb. God will bless you for your help.
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. Yes. I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. Yes. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil.
I saw George Jacob with the devil.
Praise God,
I saw
it is
Goody
broken.
Hale with the devil.
They are free.
I saw Goody Sibber with the devil.
I'll get the marshal.
Tell the marshal to bring irons.
I saw Martha Bellows with the devil.
I saw Alice Barrow with the devil.
I saw Goody Hawkins with the devil.
I saw Goody
What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
I were planting far out to the forest edge.
Oh, you're done then?
Aye. Farm is seated. Are the boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Pray now for a fair summer.
Aye.
Are you well today?
I am. It is rabbit stew.
Ah, a rabbit. In Jonathan's trap.
No, she walked in the house this afternoon. I found her sitting in the corner like she'd come to visit.
That's a good sign, walking in.
Pray God. It hurt my heart to strip her, poor rabbit.
It is well seasoned.
She's tender. I took great care.
Aye. I think we'll see green fields soon. It's as warm as blood beneath the clods.
That's well.
If the crop is good, I'll buy George Jacob's heifer. How would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider.
Aye.
This farm's a cottage when you go foot by foot dropping seeds in it.
It must be.
On Sunday, let you come with me, and we'll walk the farm together. I never see such a load of flowers on the earth. Massachusetts is a beauty in the spring.
Aye, it is.
Are you sad again?
You come so late. Thought you'd gone to Salem this afternoon.
Why? I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier this week.
I thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her? You heard me forbid her go to Salem anymore.
I couldn't stop her.
It is a fault. A fault, Elizabeth. You're the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She frightened all my strength away.
Tell me that mouse frightened you, Elizabeth.
It is no mouse no more. I forbid her to go, and she raises up her chin like the daughter of a prince and says to me, "Why, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I am an official of the court."
Court? What court?
It is a proper court they have now. They've sent 4 judges out of Boston, weighty magistrates of the general court, and at the head sits the deputy governor of the province.
Why, she's mad.
I wish to God she were. There be 14 people in the jail now, she says. And the court have the power to hang them too, she says.
They'd never hang anyone.
The deputy governor promises hanging if they'll not confess. The town's gone wild, I think. Mary Warren speak of Abigail as though she were a saint. She brings the girls to court, and where she walks, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel. And folks are brought before them, and if Abigail scream and howl and fall to the floor, they're clapped in jail for bewitching her.
It is a black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John, and tell them it is a fraud.
Aye. It is. It is surely.
Let you go to Ezekiel Cheever, he knows you well, and tell him what she said to you last week in her uncle's house. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft, did she not?
Aye, she did. She did.
God forbid you keep that from the court, John. I think they must be told.
Aye, they must. They must. It is a wonder that they do believe her.
Well, let you go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Good, then. Let you think on it.
I am only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. If the girl's a saint now, I think it is not easy to prove she's fraud. And the town gone so silly. She told it to me in a room alone. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her?
For a moment alone, aye.
Why then, it is not as you told me.
For a moment, I say. The others come in soon after.
Do as you wish, then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion anymore. I'll
I'll
not have it.
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet.
John, if it were not Abigail that you must go to hurt, would you falter now? I think not.
Now look you.
I see what I see, John.
You will not judge me more, Elizabeth. I have good reason to think before I charge fraud on Abigail. And I will think on it. Let you look to your own improvement before you go to judge your husband anymore. I forgot Abigail. Spare me. You forget nothing and forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I've gone tiptoe in this house all 7 months and she is gone. I have not moved from there to there without I think to please you, and still an everlasting funeral marches round your heart. I cannot speak, but I am doubted. Every moment judged for lies, as though I come into a court when I come into this house.
John, you are not open with me. First you say you saw her in a crowd. Now
I'll plead my honesty no more, Elizabeth.
John, I am only...
No more. I should have roared you down when first you told me your suspicion. But I wilted. Like a Christian, I confessed. Some dream I had must have mistaken you for God that day. But you're not. You're not. Let you remember it. Let you sometimes look for the goodness in me and judge me not.
I do not judge you. The magistrate sits in your heart that judges you. I never thought you but a good man, only somewhat bewildered.
Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. How do you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you if you dare leave this house again.
I am sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray hurt me not. My insides are all shuddery. I am in the proceedings all day, sir.
And what are these proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house as you are paid £9 a year to do? And my wife not wholly well.
I made a gift for you today, Goody Proctor. I had to sit long hours in a chair and pass the time with sewing.
Why, thank you. It's a fair poppet.
We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Aye, indeed we must.
I'll get up early in the morning and clean the house. I'm asleep now.
Mary, is it true there be 14 women arrested?
No, sir. There be 39 now.
Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child?
Goody Osborne will hanged.
Hanged? Hanged, you say?
Aye.
The deputy governor will permit it?
He sentenced her, he must. But not Sarah Good, for Sarah Good confessed, you see.
Confessed to what?
That she sometimes made a compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood and bound herself to torment Christians till God's thrown down and we all must worship hell forevermore.
But surely you know what a jabberer she is. Did you tell them that?
Mr. Proctor, in open court she near to choked us all to death.
How choked you?
She sent her spirit out.
Now, Mary, surely you don't...
She tried to kill me many times, Goody Proctor.
Why, I've never heard you mention that before.
Why, I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When she come into the court, I say to myself, I must not accuse this woman, for she sleep in ditches and so very old and poor. But then she sit there denying and denying, and I feel a misty coldness climbing up my back, and the skin on my skull begin to creep, and a clamper on my neck, and I cannot breathe air. And then I hear a voice, a screaming voice, and it were my voice, and all at once I remembered everything she ever done to me.
What did she do to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor. She come to this very door begging bread and a cup of cider, and mark this. When I turned her away empty, she mumbled.
Mumbled? Why, she may have mumbled hungry.
But what does she mumble? You must remember it, Goody Proctor. Last month, a Monday, I think, I turned her away and I thought my guts would burst for 2 days after. Do you remember it?
Why, I think I do, but...
And so I told that to Judge Hawthorne. And he asked her, he say, Goody Good, what curse is it that you mumble that this girl must fall sick after turning you away empty? And then she replied, Why, Your Excellence, it is no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments, says she.
And that's an upright answer.
Aye, but then Judge Hawthorne say, Recite for us your commandments, Goody Good. And of all the 10, she could not say a single one. She never knew no commandments, and they had her in a flat lie.
And so condemned her.
Why, they must when she condemned herself.
But the proof. The proof.
I've told you the proof. It's hard proof. Hard as a rock, the judges said.
You will not go to that court again, Mary.
I must tell you, sir, I will be gone every day now. I am amazed you do not see what weighty work we do.
What work you do? It's strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
They will not hang if they confess. Sarah Good will only sit in jail for some time. And here's a wonder for you. Think on this. Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near 60.
They had Dr. Griggs examine her, and she's full to the brim, and smoking a pipe all these years, and no husband either. But she's safe, thank God, for they'll not harm the innocent child. But be that not a marvel, you must see it, sir. It's God's work we do. So I'll be gone to the court every day now. I am an official of the court, they say.
I'll official you.
I'll not stand whipping. The devil's loose in Salem, and we must discover where he's
I'll get
hiding.
the devil out of you.
I saved her life today.
I am accused?
You are somewhat mentioned. But I said I never see no sign you ever sent your spirit out to hurt no one. And seeing I do live so closely with you, they dismissed it.
But who accused me?
I am bound by law. I cannot tell it. I hope you'll not be so sarcastical no more. 4 judges and the king's deputy sat to dinner with us but an hour ago. I would have you speak civilly to me from this out.
Go to bed.
I'll not be ordered to bed no more. I'm 18 and a woman, however single.
Do you wish to sit up? Then sit up.
I wish to go to bed.
Good night, then.
Well, good night.
The noose. The noose is up.
There'll be no news.
She wants me dead, John. I knew all wicked would come to this.
They dismissed it. You heard her say it.
And what if tomorrow she'll cry me out until they take me?
Sit you down.
She wants me dead, John, and you know it.
I say sit down. Now we must be wise, Elizabeth.
Indeed, we must.
Fear nothing. I'll find Ezekiel Cheever. I'll tell him she said for all sport.
John, with so many in the jail now, more than that is needed, I think. Would you favor me with this? Go to Abigail.
What have I to say to Abigail?
John, you have a faulty understanding of young girls. There is a promise made in any bed.
What promise?
Spoke or silent, a promise is surely made. And she may dote on it now, I'm sure she does. And thinks to kill me, then to take my place. There be 1,000 names, why does she call mine? I am no goody-good that sleeps in ditches, nor Osborne, drunken, half-witted. She dare not call out such a farmer's wife's name, but there be monstrous profit in it. She thinks to take my place, John.
She cannot think it.
Have you ever shown her somewhat of contempt? She cannot pass you in church, but you will blush.
I may blush for my sin.
I think she sees another meaning in that blush.
And what see you? What see you, Elizabeth?
I think you be ashamed that I am there and she so close.
When will you know me, woman? Were I stone, I would have cracked for shame this 7 months.
Then go and tell her she's a whore. And whatever promise she may sense, John, break it.
Good then, I'll go.
How unwillingly?
I will curse her harder than the oldest cinder in hell, fear not. But pray, begrudge me not my anger.
Your anger? I only ask...
Woman, am I so base? Do you truly think me base?
I never called you base.
Then how do you charge me with such a promise? The promise that a stallion gives a mare I gave that girl.
Then why do you anger when I bid you break it?
Because it speaks deceit. And I am honest. But I'll plead it no more. I see now your spirit twist around the single error of my life. And I will never tear it free.
You'll tear it free when you come to know that I will be your only wife or no wife at all. She has an arrow in you yet, John Proctor, and you know it well.
Good evening. Why, Mr. Hale. Good evening to you, sir. Come in.
I hope I do not startle you.
No, it's just that we heard no horse.
You be Goody Proctor?
Ah, Elizabeth.
I hope you're not up to bed yet.
No. No, let you come in. We are not used to visitors after dark, but you, sir, you're welcome here. Will you sit you down?
Yes, I will. Please sit you down, Goody Proctor.
Will you drink cider, Mr. Hale?
No, I have some further traveling tonight. Mr. Proctor, will you please have a seat? I'll not keep you long, but I have some business with you.
Business of the court?
No, I come of my own, without the court's authority. I know not if you are aware, but your wife's name is mentioned in the court.
We know it, sir. Our Mary Warren told us You're entirely amazed.
Well, I am a stranger here, as you know, and in my ignorance, I find it hard to draw a clear opinion of them that are brought before the court. So this afternoon and now tonight, I go from house to house. I come now from Rebecca Nurse's house. She is...
Rebecca's charged.
Oh, God forbid such a one be charged. She is, however, mentioned somewhat.
I hope, Mr. Hale, you will not believe that Rebecca trafficked with the devil.
Woman, it is possible.
Surely you cannot think so.
This is a strange time, mister. No one may now doubt that the powers of darkness are gathered in monstrous attack upon this village. There's too much evidence now to deny it. You will agree, sir, won't you?
I have no knowledge in that line. But it is hard to think that so pious a woman be secretly a devil's witch after 70 years such good prayer.
Aye, but the devil is a wily one, you will agree with that. But she's far from charged, and I know she will not be. I had hoped to draw some questions as to the Christian character of your home, if you'll permit me.
Why, we have no fear of questions, sir.
Well, good then. I've noted in the book of record that Mr. Paris keeps that you are rarely in church on the Sabbath.
No, sir, you are mistaken.
Well, sir, 26 time in 17 months. I must call that rare. Can you tell me why you are so absent?
Mr. Hale, I never knew I must account to that man for I come to church or stay at home. My wife was sick this winter.
So I'm told, but can you tell me, sir, why could you not come alone?
I surely did come when I could, and when I could not, I prayed in this house.
But your house is not a church, Mr. Proctor. Your theology must tell you that.
It does, sir. It does. And it also tells me that a minister may pray to God without he have golden candlesticks upon the altar.
What golden candlesticks?
Since we built the church, there were pewter candlesticks upon the altar. Francis Nurse made them, you know, and a sweeter hand never touched the metal. But Paris came, and for 20 weeks he preached nothing but golden candlesticks until he had them. I labor the earth from dawn of day to blink of night, and I tell you true, when I look to heaven and see my money glaring at his elbows, it hurt my prayer, sir. It hurt my prayer. I think sometimes the man dreams cathedrals, not clapboard meeting houses.
And yet, sir, a Christian must be in church on Sabbath day. Tell me, you have 3 children?
Aye, boys.
How come it that only 2 of them are baptized?
I like it not that Mr. Paris should lay his hand upon my baby. I see no light of God that man, I'll not conceal it.
Well, I must say it, sir. That is not for you to decide. The man is ordained, therefore the light of God is in him.
What's your suspicion, Mr. Hale?
No, Mr. Proctor, I have no...
I nailed the roof upon the church. I hung the door.
Oh, did you? Well, that is a good sign, then.
It may be I've been too quick to bring the man to book, but you cannot think we ever desired the destruction of religion. I think that is in your mind, is it not?
Sir, there is a softness in your record, sir, a softness.
I think perhaps we have been too hard on Mr. Paris. I think so. But be sure, Mr. Hale, we never loved the devil here.
Do you know your commandments, Goody Proctor?
I surely do. There be no mark of blame upon my life. I am a covenanted Christian woman.
And you, sir?
I am sure I do, sir.
Well, let you repeat them then, if you will.
The commandments.
Aye.
Thou shalt not kill.
Aye.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, nor make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother. Thou shalt bear no false witness. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Well, you've said that twice, sir.
Aye.
Adultery, John.
You see, sir, between the 2 of us, we do know them all. I think it be a small fault.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. And no crack in a fortress may be accounted small.
There be no love for Satan in this house.
I pray it. I truly pray it. Well, I'll bid you good night then.
Mr. Hale, I do believe you are suspecting me somewhat, are you not?
I do not judge you, Goody Proctor. It is my duty to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. I bid you good health and good fortune. Good night, sir.
Will you tell him, John?
What's that?
Please tell him.
I have no witness, and cannot prove it except my word be taken. But I know the children's sickness had naught to do with witchcraft.
Not to do it?
They were discovered by Mr. Paris sporting in the woods. They were startled, took sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail?
Aye.
Abigail Williams said it had naught to do with witchcraft.
She told me the day you came, sir.
Why did you keep this?
I never knew until tonight that the world has gone daft with this nonsense.
Nonsense! Sir, I myself have questioned Tituba, Sarah Good, and numerous others who have confessed to dealing with the devil. They have confessed it.
And why not? If they must hang for denying it. There are them that will swear to anything before they'll hang. Have you never thought of that?
Yes, I have. I have indeed. And you would testify to this in court.
I had not reckoned with going into court. But if I must, I will.
You falter there, sir. I think you...
I falter nothing. But I may wonder if my story will be credited in such a court. I do wonder on it. When a minister as steady-minded as you will suspicion such a woman that never lied. She cannot lie. And the world knows she cannot. I may falter somewhat, mister. I am no fool.
Open with me now, Proctor. I have heard a thing that troubles me. It has been said that you may not even believe that there may even be witches in the world. Is that true?
I know not what I have said. I may have said it. I have often wondered if there be witches in the world.
Then you do not believe?
I have no knowledge of it. The Bible speaks of witches. I will not deny them.
And you, woman?
I cannot believe it.
You cannot!
Elizabeth, you bewilder.
I cannot believe that the devil may own a woman's soul when she is kept an upright way as I have.
But you must believe there are witches in the world.
If you think that I am one, then I say there are none.
Surely you do not fly against the gospel. The
She
gospel
believed in the gospel. Every word.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel, not myself.
She do not mean to doubt the gospel, sir. You cannot think it. This be a Christian house, sir. A Christian house.
Let the third child be quickly baptized. Go you into church each Sunday for Sabbath prayer and keep a solemn and quiet way among you, and I think...
John!
Shut up. What's the matter?
John, they've taken my wife. And Rebecca nurse.
Rebecca's in the jail.
John, keep her coming. Take them in his wagon. We've only now come from the jail. And they'll not even let us in to see them.
They've surely gone wild now, Mr. Hale.
Mr. Hale, can you not speak to the deputy governor? I'm sure he mistakes these people.
Pray, calm yourself, Mr. Nurse.
My wife is the very brick and mortar of the church, Mr. Hale. And Martha Corey. There cannot be a woman closer yet to God than Martha.
What charge were brought against your wife?
For murder she's charged. For the marvelous and supernatural murder of Goody Putnam's babies. What am I to do, Mr. Hale?
Mr. Nurse, rest upon the justice of the court. The court will send her home. I know it.
Means she'll be tried in court.
How may such a woman murder children?
Man, until an hour before the devil fell, God thought him beautiful in heaven.
I never said my wife were a witch, Mr. Hale. I only said she was reading books.
What charge were brought against your wife?
That bloody mongrel Walcott charged her. You see, 3 or 4 years ago, he buys a pig from my wife. Soon after, the pig dies. So he comes dancing over, asking for his money back. My Martha, she says to him, Walcott, if you'll not have the wit to feed a pig properly, you'll not live long to own many, she says. So he goes to court, and he claims from that day to this, he cannot keep a pig alive longer than 4 weeks because my Martha bewitched him with books.
Good evening, John. Good evening.
Why, Mr. Cheever. Good evening.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Reverend Hale.
I hope you come not on business of the court.
I do, for I am clerk of the court now, you know.
Ah, it's a pity, Ezekiel, that an honest tailor might have gone to heaven, must burn in hell. You'll burn for this, you know.
I must do only as I'm told. Surely you know that, Giles. And I just leave it to you not to be sending me to hell, for I like not the sound of that. Now believe me, John, how heavy be the law. All the tonnage I do carry on my back tonight. I have a warrant for your wife.
What say you? A warrant for my wife? You said she were not charged.
I know nothing of it, John. When was she charged?
I am given 16 warrants tonight, sir, and she is one.
Who charged her?
Abigail Williams has charged her.
Abigail Williams. On what proof?
Now, Proctor, I have little time, and the court bid that I search your house. Now, I like not to search your house, so you will hand me any poppets you keep here.
Poppets?
Why, I never kept no poppets.
I spy a poppet, Goody Proctor.
Oh. Why, this is Mary's.
You'll bring it here, please.
Has the court discovered a text in poppets now?
Do you keep any others in this house?
No. Nor this one either until tonight. What signifies a poppet?
Well, a poppet might signify. Now, woman, come with me.
She will not. Fetch Mary here.
No! No, I am forbidden that she leave my sight.
You will leave her out of sight and out of mind, mister. Fetch Mary, Elizabeth. Go now.
What signifies a poppet, Mr. Cheever?
Well, they say that a poppet might signify, why, this here.
What's that?
It's a needle. Willard, it's a needle.
What signifies a needle?
Oh, this go hard with it, John. I had my doubts, but here is calamity. It's a needle.
What meaning has it?
The girl, the Williams girl, Abigail Williams. She sat down to dinner tonight with Reverend Paris, when all of a sudden, without word nor warning, she fell to the ground, struck like a beast. And then she screamed a scream that would make a bull leap to hear. And then when Reverend Paris go to save her, 2 inches within the flesh of her belly, he drawed a needle. And then she said it were your wife's familiar spirit that pushed it in.
Why, she done it herself. I hope you're not taking this for proof,
'Tis hard
Mr. Hale.
proof, John. I find here a poppet that Goody Proctor keeps. I have found it. And in the belly of that poppet, I find a needle. Now believe me, I never wanted to find such proof of hell. And I bid you, obstruct me not, for I am bound
now. Mary, how did this poppet come into my house?
What poppet's that, sir?
This poppet here.
Why, I believe it is mine, sir.
It is your poppet, is it not?
It is, sir.
And how did it come into this house?
Why, I made it in the court today and give it to Goody Proctor tonight.
Now, sir, do you have it?
Mary Warren, a needle were found stuck into this poppet.
Why, I meant no harm by it, sir.
You stuck that needle in yourself.
I think I did, sir.
What say you now?
Child, are you sure that this be your natural memory? Could it be that someone conjures you even now to say this?
Conjures me? Why, no, sir. I am entirely myself, I think. Let you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sewing it in court today. Or let you ask Abby. Abby sat beside me when I made it.
Bid him be gone, mister. Your mind is surely settled now. Bid him out.
Mary, you charge a cold and cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder? I charge no murder.
Abigail was stabbed tonight, and a needle were found stuck into her belly.
And she accuses me?
Aye.
Why, the girl is murder. She should be ripped out of the world.
Ripped out of the world. You all heard her. You heard her.
Out with you.
You dare not touch that warrant.
Out with you.
Mr. Proctor.
Get you gone with him. You're a broken minister.
Proctor, if she is innocent.
If she is innocent, why do you never wonder if Paris be innocent? Or Abigail? Is the accuser always holy now? Were they born this morning as clean as God's fingers? I'll tell you what's walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we always were at Salem. But now the little crazy children are jangling the keys of the kingdom. And common vengeance writes the law. This war is vengeance. I will not give my wife to vengeance!
I'll go, John.
You will not go.
John, I have 9 men outside. You cannot keep her. The law binds me. She must come.
You will see her taken.
Proctor, the court is just.
Pontius Pilate. God will not let you wash your hands of this.
I think I must go with them, John. Mary, there's bread enough for the morning. You will bake in the afternoon. Help Mr. Proctor as though you were his daughter. You owe me that, and much more. When the children wake, Speak nothing of witchcraft. It will frighten them.
I will bring you home. I will bring you soon.
John, bring me home soon.
I will fall like an ocean upon that court. Fear nothing, Elizabeth.
I will fear nothing. Tell the children I have gone to visit someone sick.
Willet, you will not chain her. Offer the chains, I'll not have it.
And yet, a silent minister? It's a fraud. And you know it's a fraud.
God, Mr. Reed, let you keep in this house till I'm gone. I will pay you, Willet. I will surely pay you.
Mr. Proctor.
Damn my sight.
Charity, Proctor, charity. What I've heard in her favor, I will not fear to testify in court. God help me, I cannot judge her guilty nor innocent, I know not. Only consider this. The world goes mad, and what does it profit to lay the cause to the vengeance of a little girl?
You are a coward. Though you be ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now.
Proctor, I cannot think that God be so grandly provoked by such a petty cause. Our jails are packed. Our greatest judges sit in sailing courts and hangings promised. We must look on cause proportionate. Whether some murder done in secret and never brought to light, abomination, some blasphemy that stinks to heaven. Think on cause, man. Help me to discover it. There is your way. There's your only way when such confusion draws upon the world. Counsel among yourselves. Consider your village. Consider what may have brought such thundering wrath from heaven upon you all. I shall pray that God open our eyes.
I never heard no murder done in
Leave
Salem.
me, Francis. Leave me.
John, tell me, are we lost?
Go home, Giles. We'll speak on it tomorrow.
Aye. Well, I'll come early in the morning.
Aye. Go now, Giles.
Good night, John. Good night.
Mr. Proctor, very likely they'll let her come home once they're given proper evidence.
You are coming to that court with me, Mary. You will tell it in the court.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will tell the court how that puppet come here and who stuck the needle in.
She'll kill me for saying that. She'll charge lechery on you, Mr. Proctor.
She's told you.
I have known it, sir. She'll ruin you with it. I know she will.
Good. Then her saintliness is done with. We will slide together into our pit. You will tell the court what you know.
I cannot. They'll turn on me.
My wife will never die for me. I will bring your guts into your mouth. But that goodness will not die for me.
I cannot do
Make your
it.
peace with it. Now hell and heaven grapple on our backs, and all our old pretense is ripped away. Make your peace. Peace. It is a providence and no great change. We are what we always were, but naked now. Naked. God's icy wind will blow.
I cannot.
Now, Martha Corey, there is abundant evidence in our hand that shows us that you have given yourself to the reading of fortunes. Do you deny it?
I am innocent to a witch. I know not what a witch is.
How then do you know that you are not a witch?
If I were, I would know it.
Why do you hurt these children?
I don't hurt them. I scorn it.
I have evidence for the court. Thomas Putnam is reaching out flame! in there and demand that I speak.
A moment, sir, a moment.
They're telling lies about my wife.
How dare you come roaring into this court? Have you gone daft, Corey?
You're not a busting judge yet, Hawthorne. You'll not call me daft.
Who is this man?
Giles Corey, sir, an important
I'm asked the question, and I am old enough to answer it. Thank you. My name is Giles Corey. It is my wife you're condemning now.
And how do you suppose to help her cause with such contemptuous right? Now be gone. Your old age alone keeps you out of jail for this.
They're telling lies about my wife.
Then you take it upon yourself to decide what my court shall believe and what it shall set aside.
Your Excellency, we mean no disrespect.
Well, it's disrespect indeed. It is a disruption, mister. This is the highest court of the supreme government of this province. Do you know it?
I only said you were reading books. And they come, and they take her out of my house.
What books, Mr. Corey?
It is my third wife. My third. And I never had no wife that be taken up with books. Do you understand? I thought to find the cause of it. But it weren't no witch I blame her for. No. I have broke charity with the woman. You hear? I broke charity.
Excellency, this man claims hard evidence for his wife's defense. I think that in all
Let him
justice...
submit his evidence in proper affidavit. You are certainly aware of our procedure, Mr. Hale. Now clear this room, Marshal.
We are desperate, sir. We come here 3 days now and cannot be heard.
And who is this?
Francis Nurse, Your Excellency.
His wife, Rebecca, were condemned this morning.
Indeed. I'm surprised to find you in such uproar. I have only good report of your character.
I think they must both be arrested in contempt,
Your
sir.
Excellency, we have proof for your eyes. God forbid you shut them to it. The girls, sir, they're fakes.
What's what?
We have proof of it, sir. They've all been deceiving you.
Mr. Nurse, do you know who I am?
I most certainly do, and I think you must be a wise judge to be what you are.
And do you know that 400 lie in jail from Marblehead to Lynn on my signature, and 72 more are condemned to hang on my signature?
I never thought to say it to such a wise judge, but you are deceived.
Mary Warren, what are you about here?
She would speak with the deputy governor.
Marshal, did you not tell me Mary Warren was sick in bed?
Aye, she was, sir. When I go to fetch her to court last week, she said she was sick. She has been striving with her soul all week. And now she comes here to tell the truth to you.
And who is this?
John Proctor, sir. Elizabeth Proctor is my wife.
Beware this man, Your Excellency. This man is mischief.
Excellency, I think you must hear the girl, sir.
Peace. What would you have to tell us, Mary Warren?
She never saw no spirits, sir.
Never saw no spirits.
Never.
She has signed a deposition.
Well, I will accept no depositions. But tell me, have you given out this story to the village?
We have not.
They have come to overthrow this court,
Mr.
sir.
Paris. Mr. Proctor, do you realize that the entire contention of the states in these trials is that the voice of heaven is speaking through the children?
I know that, sir.
And you, Mary Warren, how came you to cry out people for sending their spirits against you?
It were pretense, sir.
Excuse me?
It were pretense, she says.
Ah, and the other girls, Susanna Walcott, the others, they are also pretending.
Aye, sir.
Mr. Proctor, before I decide to hear you, I must tell you this. I burn a hot fire here. It melts down all concealment. Are you certain in your conscience that your evidence is the truth?
It is. And you will surely know it.
And I take it you came to declare this revelation to the open court before the public?
I thought I would, aye. With your permission.
Mr. Proctor, what is your purpose in doing so?
I would free my wife, sir.
There lurks nowhere in your heart, nor hidden in your conscience, any desire to undermine my court.
Why, no, sir.
And I must tell you straight. I have seen marvels in this courtroom. I have seen people choked by spirits, stuck by pins, slashed by daggers. And I have until this very moment not the slightest reason to believe that the children are lying to me. Do you understand my meaning?
Excellency, does it not strike upon you that so many of these women have lived so long?
Judge Hawthorne.
With such upright reputation?
Ah, she is the one.
Mr. Proctor, this morning we were given a note From your wife, who says she is now pregnant.
My wife pregnant?
She does not show the natural signs, mind you. We've examined the body.
But if she says she is pregnant, then she must be. That woman will never lie, Mr. Danforth.
She will not?
Never, sir. Never.
Good then. What if I were to tell you that she will be kept for another month, and if she showed the natural sign, I will have her kept another year till she hath delivered? What say you to that? Come, man. You say your entire purpose here is to save your wife. Good, then you have her for a year, and a year is long. Will you drop this charge?
I think I cannot.
Then your purpose is somewhat larger. He has come to overthrow this court, sir.
These are my friends. Their wives are also
Sit
accused.
down, mister. I do not judge you.
I come on to hurt the court.
If you forgive me, sir, I've known him my whole life. He is a good man. Thank you, Marshal, I'm sure. Mr. Proctor, I beg you now, be open as the sky and honest.
I am no lawyer.
The pure in heart need no lawyers. Please proceed as you will.
Will you read this first? It's a sort of testament. People signing it declare their good opinion of Rebecca and my wife, Martha Corey. Their good opinion. These are all covenant people, landholding farmers, members of the church. If you'll notice, sir, they've known the women many years and never saw no sign they had dealings with the devil.
How many names are here, Mr. Proctor?
91, Your Excellency.
These people should be summoned for questioning, sir.
Mr. Danforth, I gave them my word that no harm would come to them for signing this.
This is a clear attack upon this court.
Every defense and attack upon the court can no one...
All innocent and Christian people are happy for the courts in Salem. These people are gloomy for it. And I think you would like to know, sir, from each and every one of them, what discontents them with you.
This is contempt, sir, contempt.
This is not necessarily an attack, but they must be examined.
These are all covenanted Christians, sir.
Then they have nothing to fear. Mr. Chief, draw arms warrants for these. Arrest for examination. You may sit down, Mr. Nurse. Mr. Proctor, what other information do you have for us?
I have brought trouble on these people. I have.
Old man, you have not brought trouble upon these people if they are of good conscience. You must understand, in my court, you are either with this court or you must be counted against it. There be no road between. She's not hearty, I see.
No, she's not. Now, Mary, remember what the angel Raphael said to the boy Tobias.
Come, man, we wait you.
Do that which is good,
John,
and no harm shall come to
Mr.
thee.
Proctor.
John, give him my deposition.
Aye. Corey. Here's Mr. Corey's deposition.
Indeed.
What lawyer drew this, Corey?
Oh, you know I've never had no lawyer in my life.
Well, it is very well phrased. My compliments. Mr. Paris.
Yes.
Mr. Putnam is outside. Please bring him in. You have no legal training, Mr. Corey.
I have the best. I am 33 times in court and always a plaintiff too.
Oh, then you are much put upon.
I'm never put upon. I know my rights, and I will have them.
Indeed.
I will. You know, your father once judged a case of mine. Might be 35 years ago, I think.
Indeed.
He never spoke to you of it?
No, I cannot recall.
That's strange. He gave me £9 damages. Your father, he was a better judge. You see, I had this white man.
Mr. Putnam, please come in.
Aye, he's here.
Mr. Putnam, I have here a charge from Mr. Corey, who states you coldly prompted your daughter to cry witchery upon George Jacobs, who is now in jail. What say you to that?
That? It is a lie.
Mr. Corey, Mr. Putnam states your charge is a lie. What say you to that?
Fart! Putnam.
What evidence do you submit for your charge?
My proof? You want my proof? My proof is there. That is my proof. If Jacob hangs for a witch, he forfeits his land. That's law. And there is none but that man who can afford such great a feast. This man is killing his neighbors for land.
But proof, sir, proof.
My proof is there. I have it from an honest man who heard Putnam say it. The day his daughter cried out on Jacobs, he said she promised him a fair gift of land.
In the name of this man, Corey.
What name?
The man that gave you this information.
Well, I can't give you no name.
And why not?
You know why not? He'll lay in jail if I give you his name.
This is contempt, sir, contempt.
Mr. Corey, you will kindly give us the name.
I will not. I gave you my wife's name, and I'll burn in hell for that. I stand you mute.
Mr. Corey, you give me no choice than to hold you in contempt of court. Do you know that?
You cannot let me for contempt of hearing.
Oh, it is a proper lawyer indeed. Well, would you have me open this court in full session, or will you give me good reply?
I cannot, and I will not.
You are a foolish old man. Mr. Cheever, begin the record. This court is now in session. Now look, Mr. Corey, I must have
Your
that
Honor.
name.
He has the story in confidence.
The devil lives on such confidences. Without confidences, there would be no conspiracy.
I think it must be broken, sir.
Mr. Corey, if your informant tells the truth, let him come before me, openly, like a decent man. But if he decide to hide in anonymity, I must know why. Mr. Corey, the government and Central Church demand of you the name he who accused Thomas Putnam a common murder.
Excellency, we cannot blink it more. There is a prodigious fear of this court in the country.
Then there is a prodigious guilt in this country. Are you afraid to be questioned here?
Sir, I may only fear the Lord, but there is nevertheless fear in this country.
Reproach me not with fear. There is fear because there is a moving plot to topple Christ.
But it does not follow that everyone accused is part of it.
No uncorrupted man may fear my court. None, Mr. Corey. You are under arrest for contempt of this court. Now sit down.
I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Yes,
Awesome. Sit him down. Sit him down.
John, he's only playing you. He means to hang us all. This is the
down
court
the
of
wall of my
law.
court. I will have no effrontery.
Forgive him, sir, for his old age. Peace now, Giles, peace. We'll prove it all now. You cannot weep, Mary. Remember the angel, what he said to the boy. Hold to it now. There is your rod. This is Mary Warren's deposition. I would ask you to remember, sir, while you read it, that until 2 weeks ago she was no different than the other children are today. You heard her scream. She howled. She swore familiar spirits choked her. She even testified that Satan, in the form of women now in jail, tried to win her soul away. And when she refused...
We know all this, Mr. Proctor.
Aye, sir. She swears now she never saw Satan, nor any spirit vague or clear that Satan may have sent to hurt her. She declares her friends are lying now.
Excellency, a moment.
Mr. Hale.
I think this goes to the heart of the matter.
It surely does.
I cannot say he is an honest man. I know him little. But in all justice, sir, a claim this weighty cannot be brought by a farmer. Please, sir, stop here, send him home, and let him come again with a lawyer.
Now look you, Mr. Hale, this is my case.
Excellency, I have signed 72 death warrants. I am a minister of the Lord, and I dare not take a life without there be a proof so immaculate that not the slightest qualm of conscience may doubt it.
Mr. Hale, you certainly do not doubt my justice.
Excellency, I have this morning signed away the soul of Rebecca Nurse. And I tell you the truth, sir, I'll not conceal it. My hand shakes as with a wound. And I beg you, sir, this argument let lawyers present to you.
Mr. Hale, for such a learned man, you are most bewildered. I hope you will forgive me. I have been at this court 32 years, and I would be most confounded if called upon to defend these people. But I would have you consider, and all of you do likewise. In an ordinary crime, how does one defend oneself? He calls up witnesses to defend his innocence. But witchcraft, Mr. Hale, is ipso facto, on its face, by its nature, an invisible crime. Therefore, who is left to witness it? The witch, the victim, none other. Now, we cannot expect the witch to accuse herself granted, but the victims here testify. The children certainly do testify.
Sir, she claims that the girls are not truthful, and if they are not...
That is exactly what I'm about to consider, Mr. Hale. What more may you ask of me? Unless you doubt my honesty.
No, sir. No, I surely do not. Let you consider it then.
And let you put your heart to rest. For deposition, Mr. Proctor.
I should like to question her, sir.
Mr. Paris, sit down.
But I...
Sit down! Mary, you sit there. Mr. Chief, go bring the children in from outside. Now, Mary, how came you to this turnabout? Did Mr. Proctor threaten you for this deposition?
No, sir.
Has he ever threatened you?
No, sir.
Mary, did he threaten you?
No, sir.
Then you will sit here and tell me you sat in my court, callously lying when you knew people would hang by your evidence.
I did, sir.
How were you instructed in your life, Mary? Do you not know that God damns all liars, or is it now that you lie?
No, sir. I am with God now.
She is with God.
Aye, sir.
Well, I will tell you straight. You are either lying then or you are lying now. Mary, you have committed perjury. You will go to jail for it. You cannot lightly say you lied, Mary. Do you know that?
I cannot lie no more. I am with God. I am with God.
Ruth Putnam was not outside, nor were the other girls.
These will be sufficient. Thank you, Mr. Cheever. Sit down, children. Children, we've been given a deposition by your friend Mary Ward, in which she states she never saw no spirits, familiar or of Satan. Children, she takes it you have not seen these either. Children, this is a court of law, my court. The law based on the Bible written by Almighty God himself. All damn witchcraft, and prescribe the penalty of death thereof. But likewise, children, the Bible and the law damns all liars, the bearers of false witness. And it does not escape me that this deposition might have been devised to blind us. That Mary Warren is here conquered by Satan and is here to distract my sacred purpose. If that is true, her neck will break for it. But if she tell the truth, I bid you now drop your guile, for a quick confession will go easy on you. Abigail Williams, is there any truth to this?
No, sir.
Children, a very auger bit will be driven into your soul until your honesty is proven. And when any of you drop this, or do you force me to hard questions?
I have not to church, sir. She lies.
You will go on with this, Mary.
Aye, sir.
Indeed. A poppets were discovered in Mr. Proctor's house, stabbed with a needle. Abigail, Mary claims you sat by her in court when she made it, saw her make it, and saw her place her needle in it for safekeeping. What say you to this?
It is a lie, sir.
When you worked for Mr. Proctor, were there ever poppets in the house?
Goody Proctor always kept poppets.
Your Honor, my wife never kept no poppets. Mary Warren confesses it was her poppets.
Your Excellency.
Mr. Cheever.
When I questioned Goody Proctor, she did say she never kept no poppets. But she did mention she kept poppets when she was a girl.
Indeed. She has not been a girl these 15 years, Your Honor.
But a poppet will keep 15 years, will it not?
Indeed. It will keep if it is kept. But Mary Warren swears she never saw no poppets in my house, nor anyone else.
Why could there not have been poppets hid where no one ever saw them?
There might also be golden candlesticks in my house, but no one ever saw them.
We're here, Your Honor, precisely to discover what no one has ever seen.
Mr. Danforth, what profit Mary Warren to turn herself about? What may she gain but hard questioning and worse?
Mr. Proctor, you are accusing Abigail Williams of a marvelously cool plot to murder. Do you know that?
I do. I believe she means to murder.
This child would murder your wife.
It is not a child, sir. Now hear me, sir. In the sight of the congregation, she would twice this year put out of this meeting house for laughter during prayer.
Laughter? Excellency. Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
I do believe it happened once, sir. She's sometimes silly, but she is solemn now.
Aye, now she is solemn and comes to hang people.
Surely it have no real bearing on the question, sir. He charges contemplation of murder.
Aye. But it does strike hard on me that someone would laugh during prayer. Please continue, Mr. Proctor.
Now, Mary, tell the governor how you danced in the woods.
Excellency, ever since I came to Salem,
Mr.
this
Paris,
man
be
is
quiet!
quickening my...
Mr. Paris, shut up! What is this dancing?
Mr. Proctor.
Abigail leads the girls to the woods, Your Honor. And they have danced there. Naked.
Your Honor, this is a lie!
Mr. Paris discovered them there in the dead of night. There's the child she is.
Mr. Paris.
I can only say, sir, that I never saw any of them naked.
But you did discover them dancing. Abigail.
Excellency, when I first arrived from Beverly, Mr. Paris told me that.
Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
I do not. But I never saw any of them naked.
But they have danced.
Aye, sir.
Excellency, will you permit me, please?
Pray, proceed.
Mary Warren, you say you never saw no spirits, were never threatened or afflicted by any manifested the devil's agents.
No, sir.
And yet, when you were confronted with the charge of witchery, you would pretend to faint, saying that spirits leapt up out of their bodies and choked you.
That were pretense, sir.
I cannot hear you, Mary.
Pretense, sir.
But you did turn cold, did you not? Well, I myself picked you up many times and your skin were icy. Mr. Danforth, you saw
I
this.
saw that many times.
She only pretended to faint, Your Excellency. They're all marvelous pretenders.
Then can't she pretend to faint now?
Now? Well, why not? For there are no spirits attacking her now, for no one in this room is accused of witchcraft. So let her turn herself cold now. Let her pretend she is attacked now. Let her faint. I said faint!
Faint?
I prove to us how you pretended in this court so many times.
I cannot faint now, sir.
Can you not pretend it?
I have no sense of it now, sir.
Why? What is lacking now?
I cannot tell.
Could it be that there were no loose spirits in the court now, but there were on that day?
I never saw no spirits.
Then see no spirits now, and prove to us that you can faint by your own will as you claim. Well?
I cannot do it.
Then you will confess, will you not? Attacking spirits made you faint.
No, sir.
This is a trick to blind this court.
It's not a trick, Your Honor. I used to faint because I thought I saw spirits.
Thought you saw it.
But I did not, Your Honor.
How could you think you saw them unless you saw them?
I cannot tell how, but I did. I heard the other girls screaming. And you, Your Honor, you seemed to believe them. It were only sport in the beginning, sir, but then the whole world cried, spirits, spirits. I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I only thought I saw them, but I did not.
Surely you are not deceived by this simple lie.
Abigail Williams, I bid you now, child, search your heart and tell me this. And beware of it. To God, every soul is precious. His vengeance is terrible upon them to take life without cause. Is it possible that these spirits you have seen are some illusion, some deception?
This is a base question, Mr. Danforth.
I would have you consider it,
Mr.
child.
Danforth, I've been hurt. I've seen my blood running out. I've been near to murdered every day because I've done my duty pointing out the devil's people. And this is my reward. To be mistrusted, denied, questioned like a
Child, I do not mistrust
Mr. Danforth, let you beware. Think you to be so mighty that the power of hell may not turn your wits? Let you beware of it. There is.
What is it, child?
I know not. A wind, a cold wind has come.
Your Honor, I freeze.
They're pretending.
She is cold, Your Honor. Touch her.
Mary, do you send this shadow on me?
Lord, save me. I freeze.
Don't do that.
Oh, Heavenly Father, take away the shadow.
How do you bear
Not!
It is a whore.
Now here, Judge Abigail.
He is lying, Mr.
Mark
Danforth.
her. Now she'll suck a scream to stab me with.
You will prove this. This will not pass.
I have known her, sir. I have known her.
You are a lecher.
John.
No, Francis.
You cannot.
It is true. It is true. She will deny it. But you will believe me, sir. A man will not cast away his good name. You surely know that.
But in what time? In what time and in what place?
In the proper place. Where my beasts are bedded. On the last night of my joy, some 8 months past. She used to serve me in my house, sir. A man may think God sleeps, but God sees everything. My wife, my dear good wife, took this girl soon after, sir, and put her out on the high road. And being what she is, a lump of vanity, sir! Excellency, forgive me. Forgive me. She thinks to dance with me on my wife's grave. And well she might. For I thought of her softly. God help me. I lusted. And there is a promise in such sweat But it is a whore's vengeance, and you must see it. I set myself entirely in your hands. I know you must see it now. My wife is innocent, except she know a whore when she see one.
Abigail, you deny every scrap of this.
If I have to answer this question, sir, I will leave, and I will not come back.
Excellency, she does not deny it. She
Abigail,
does not
sit
deny
down.
it.
Abigail, sit down. Sit down. Mr. Paris, go to the jail. Bring Goodwife Proctor to me, and mind you, don't speak a word what's been spoken here. Call before you enter. Now we will get to the bottom of this swamp. Your wife, you say, is a godly woman.
In her life, sir, she have never lied.
And when she put this girl out of your house, it were for harlotry.
Aye, sir.
And she knew her for a harlot.
She knew her for a harlot.
And mind you, child, if she tell me it were for harlotry, may God have mercy on you. We are here, Your Excellency. Hold! Get up and turn your back. Turn your back. You do as well. Turn your back. Neither of you are to look at Goody Proctor, and no one in this court is to raise a gesture, A or nay. Mr. Cheever, are you ready?
Yes, Your
Report this testimony in all exactness. Enter! Come here, woman. Woman, you are to look into my eyes only.
Good sir.
We have come to understand that at one time you dismissed your servant, Abigail Williams.
That is true, sir.
For what cause did you dismiss her? Look at me. The answer lies in your memory. You do not need his help to tell it to me. Why did you dismiss her?
She dissatisfied me and my husband.
In what way dissatisfied you?
She were...
Look at me. Woman, was she slovenly? Was she lazy? What disruption did she cause?
Well, Your Honor, in that time I was sick, and my husband is a good and righteous man. He is not drunk as some are, nor wasting his time at the shovel board, but always at his work. But in that time I was sick, and I were a long time sick after my last baby, and I thought I saw my husband somewhat turning from me, and this girl...
Look at me.
I, sir, Abigail Williams.
What of Abigail Williams?
Well, I came to think he fancied her. So one night I lost my wits, I think, and put her out on the high road.
And your husband did turn from you?
My husband is a good and righteous man, sir.
Then he did not turn from you?
He...
Look at me. Woman, to your knowledge, has your husband ever committed lecher? Is your husband a lecher?
No, sir.
Marshal, remove her.
Elizabeth, tell the truth, Elizabeth.
She has spoken. Remove her.
Elizabeth, I have confessed it.
John!
She only thought to save my name,
Excellency,
sir.
it is a natural lie to tell. I beg you call her back before another is condemned. Sir, I may shut my conscience to it no more. There is private vengeance working through this testimony. This man has struck me true from the beginning, and I believe him now. By my oath to heaven, I believe him. And I beg you call her back.
She spoke nothing of lechery, Mr. Hale. This man lies.
But I believe him. I will not turn my face from it. This girl has struck me false.
You will not! Be gone! Be gone, I say!
What is it, child? Girls, what is it?
It's over me! Behind the raptor!
Where? No, there's nothing there.
Why? Why have you come, yellow bird?
Where's the bird? I see no bird.
My face! My face! But God made my face! You cannot want to tear my face! Envy is a deadly sin, Mary.
Mary.
Mary, this is a black art to change your shape. No, I cannot stop my mouth. It's God's work I do. Abby, I'm here. Mary, please don't go down. Please don't hurt me. I'm not hurting her.
Mary Warren, why do you witch her?
She's Danforth. Mr. Danforth.
Mary, you've made compact with the devil, have you not?
Never! 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 Never!
Why can they only repeat you?
Give me a whip, I'll stop it.
They're sporting!
They're sporting!
Abby, stop it!
Abby, stop it!
Stop it!
Stop it!
Stop it!
They're pretending they do not see it.
Mary, a little while ago you were afflicted. Now it seems you have the power to afflict others. Where do you find this power?
I have no power!
I have no power!
I'm telling you, mister.
Mary, why did you turn about these past 2 weeks? You made compact with the devil, have you not?
Mary, goddamn's all
Mary,
lies.
you've made compact with Lucifer, have you not?
Goddamn's lies, Mary.
Mary, will you confess yourself? Mary, do you know who I am? You will confess yourself or you will hang!
Remember the angel do that which is good.
Her wings! She's spreading her wings! Mary, don't!
Mary!
She's going to come down! She's walking in pain!
Mary!
Look out!
Mary, tell the governor what they did to you.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Mary.
You are the devil's man!
Praise God!
He come and bid you do the devil's work.
He come at me every day and every night, and he bid me to sign.
To sign what, Mary?
The devil's book. He comes.
My name!
Book.
He wants my name! I'll murder you, he says, if my wife hangs. We must go and overthrow the court, he says.
Mary, how?
He waked me every night. His eyes were like coals and his fingers claw my neck, and I sighed. I sighed.
Mr. Hale.
Oh, I go your way no more. I'll not hang with you.
Excellency,
I
the
love
child's
God.
gone wild.
I love God. I bless God. Abby, I'll never hurt you more.
Mary.
What are you? You are most certainly combined with Antichrist, are you not? I have seen your power. You will not deny it.
This is not witchcraft. These girls are frauds. You condemn an honest
I
man.
will have nothing from you, Mr. Hale. Now, will you confess your soul be fouled with hell, or do you keep this black allegiance yet?
I say, God is dead. Hear it! Hear it! A fire. A fire is burning. I hear the boots of Lucifer. I see his filthy face. It is my face. And yours stand forth. For them that quail to bring men out of ignorance. As I have quailed. And as you quail now, and you know in all your black hearts that this be fraud. God damns all kind especially. And we will burn. We will burn together.
Marshal, take Proctor and Mr. Coy with him to the jail. Now!
I denounce these proceedings.
I quit this court! Mr. Hale, come back!
You are pulling heaven down and raising up a horn.
Teshuvah!
This place is wine now.
Majesty, look
to me like the marshal.
Come along now, clear this place.
Is that you, Marshal? I thought sure you'd be the devil coming for us. Could I have a sip of your cider for me going away?
Sure, sir. Where you be off to?
We're going to Barbados. Soon devil gets here with the feathers on the wing.
Well, a happy voyage to you.
A pair of bluebirds swinging southerly, the two of us. Oh, it'd be a grand transformation.
You best give me that, you'll never rise off the ground.
I'll speak to him for you if you decide to come along.
I not refuse it, Chichi, but 'tis a proper day to fly into hell.
Oh, it ain't no hell in Barbados, devil. Him be pleasure man in Barbados. Him be singing and dancing in Barbados. You fools, you rouse him up round here. He be too cold in here for that old boy. He frees his soul in Massachusetts. But in Barbados, he just as sweet and... Yes, sir, that's you coming, Majesty!
I ain't singing just an old cow with a hateful of milk.
Sir, the deputy governor's arrived.
Go on now.
No,
Good morning, Majesty.
Where's Mr. Paris?
I'll fetch him.
Marshal, when did Reverend Hale arrive?
It was toward midnight, I think.
What is he about here?
He goes among them that will be hanged. Sister Sarah Good and Mrs. Paris is with him.
Marshal, he had no right to enter here. Why did you let him in?
Why, Mr. Paris commanded me. And I cannot deny him.
Marshal, are you drunk?
No, sir. 'Tis a bitter night, and I have no fire.
Well, fetch Mr. Paris.
Aye, sir.
There is a prodigious stench in this place.
I've only now cleared the place out for you.
Beware hard drink, Marshal.
Aye, sir.
Let you question Hale, Excellency. I should not be surprised he been preaching in Andover lately.
I'll speak nothing of Andover. We'll come to that later. But Paris prays with him. That is strange.
I think Paris has a mad look these days.
Mad?
Why, I saw him coming out of his house yesterday, and I bid him good morning, and he wept and went his way. I do not think it's so good that the town should see him so unsteady.
Perhaps he just has some sorrow.
It could be the cows, sir.
The cows.
Aye, sir, there be many cows wandering the high roads now their masters are in jail. And there's great argument over who they belong to. In fact, Reverend Paris, he was arguing with farmers all yesterday. There's great contention, sir. The contention makes him weak. You were always a man to weep for contention.
Indeed.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for coming so early. I beg your pardon in waking you.
Reverend Hale has no right to enter.
Excellency, a moment.
You leave him alone with the prisoners?
What's his business here?
Excellency, hear me. It is a providence. Reverend Hale has returned to bring Rebecca Nurse to God.
He bids her confess?
Hear me. Rebecca have not given me a word in the 3 months since she came. And now he sits with her, and Martha Corey and her sister and 2 or 3 others, and he begs them to confess their crimes and save their lives.
Why, it is indeed a providence. And they soften. They soften.
Not yet, sir. But I thought to summon you, sir. Well, on whether it be wise to. Well, there's news, sir. News that this court must reckon with. Abigail, I believe she has vanished.
Vanished?
Aye, sir.
How long is she gone?
This be the 3rd night. Mercy Lewis is gone, too.
Where did they go? I'll send a party for them.
I think they may be aboard a ship, sir. My daughter heard them speaking of ships last week. And tonight, I discover my strong box is broke into.
She have robbed you.
31 pounds is gone. I'm penniless.
Mr. Paris, you are a brainless man.
Excellency, it profit nothing you should blame me. Well, I cannot think they would run off, except they fear to keep in Salem anymore. Well, since the news of Andover has broken here.
Andover is remedied. The court returns there on Friday to resume examinations.
I am sure, sir. But rumor here speaks rebellion in Andover.
There is no rebellion in Andover.
I tell you what is said here, sir. Andover hath denounced the court, they say. They will have no part of witchcraft. There's a faction feeding on that news here, sir. And I tell you true. I fear there may be a riot here.
Riot? Why, at every execution, I have seen naught but high satisfaction in the town.
And we're a different sort that hang till now, Judge Hawthorne. Rebecca Nurse is no Bridget that lived with the bishop for 3 years before she married him. John Proctor is not Isaac Ward who drank his family to ruin. You let Rebecca stand upon the gallows and send up some righteous prayer, and I fear she'll wake a vengeance on you.
How would you propose then, Reverend Hale?
I would postpone these hangings for a time, sir.
Oh, there will be no postponement.
But Excellency, now that Reverend Hale has returned, there is hope. If he can bring just one of them to God, just one of them, well, that confession that damns all the others in the public eye, and none may doubt more that they are all went to hell. Well, this way, unconfessed and claiming innocence, those doubts are multiplied. Don't you understand? Many honest people will weep for them, and our good purpose is lost in their tears.
Mr. Chief, give me the list.
It cannot be forgot, sir, that when I summoned the congregation for John Proctor's excommunication, there were hardly 30 people who come to hear it. That speak discontent, I think.
There will be no postponement.
Excellency.
Now look at these. Which of these can be most brought to God? I will strive with them myself till morning.
There's not sufficient time to adopt.
I shall do my utmost. Now which of these do you have the most hopeful?
Excellency, a dagger.
What?
When I opened the door to leave my house tonight, a dagger clattered to the ground. You cannot hang this sword. There is danger from me. I fear to step outside my house at night.
Reverend Hale, accept our congratulations. We are glad to see you've returned to your good work.
You must pardon them. They will not budge.
You mistake me. I cannot pardon these when 12 have already hanged. It is not just.
Rebecca will not confess.
Excellency, the sun is almost up. I must have more time.
Now listen to me, both of you, and beguile yourselves no more. I will not have one more plea of pardon or postponement. Those that will not confess will hang. 12 have already hanged, Mr. Paris. The town waits at the scaffold for 7 more. Postponement now. It speaks of floundering. A floundering on my part. And it'll cast a shadow of doubt on those that have died thus far. While I speak God's law, I will not crack his voice with whimpering. And if it is retaliation that you fear, know this. I would hang 10,000 that come against the law of God, and a sea of salt tears cannot melt the resolution of the statutes. Now gather yourselves up like men, as you are bound by heaven to do, and help me. Have you spoken with them all, Reverend Hale?
All but Proctor. He's in the dungeon.
What's Proctor's way now, Marshal?
He sits like some great bird. You not know he lives except for eating time to time.
But his wife must be well on with the child now, is she not?
She is.
Mr. Paris, you know him better than I. Would her presence soften him?
Oh, it is possible, sir. It is possible. He have not laid eyes on her in these 3 months. I should summon her, sir.
Marshal, he's still adamant. Has he struck at you again?
He can lie chained into the wall.
Very good. Well, bring good wife Proctor to me, and then bring Proctor out as well.
Aye, sir.
Thank you, Marshal.
Excellency, look, if you postpone a week and publish to the town that you're striving for their confessions, then that speak mercy on your part, not faltering.
Mr. Hale, as God has not empowered me as Joshua to stop the sun from rising, I cannot withhold from these people the perfection of their punishment.
If you think that God has willed you to raise up rebellion, Mr. Danforth, then you are mistaken.
You have heard rebellion spoke of in Salem.
Excellency, there are orphans wandering from house to house, abandoned cattle bellow on the high roads, the stink of rotting crops hangs everywhere, and no man knows when the harlot's cry will end his life, and you wonder that rebellion is spoken? You should better marvel they don't burn your prophets.
Mr. Hale, have you preached in Andover lately?
Thank God they have no need of me in Andover.
You bewilder me, sir. Why have you returned here?
Why, it's all so simple. I come to do the devil's work. I come to counsel Christians to belie themselves. There's blood on my head. Can you not see the blood on my head?
Hush. Goody Proctor, I hope you are hearty.
I am yet 6 months before my time.
Pray be calm. We come not for your child. Please sit down. Now hear me, Goody Proctor. Mr. Hale, you will speak with the woman?
Goody Proctor, your husband is marked to hang this morning.
I have heard it.
You know, do you not, that I have no connection with the court? I come of my own, Goody Proctor. I would save your husband's life, for if he is taken, then I count myself his murderer. Do you understand me?
What do you want of me?
I have gone this 3 months like our Lord into the wilderness. I sought the Christian way. But damnation is doubled on a minister who counsels men to lie.
It is no lie.
It is a lie. They are innocent.
No more. I will have no more of that either. Sit down.
Mistake not your duty as I mistook my own. I came to your village as a bridegroom to his beloved, bearing gifts of high religion. The very crowns of holy law I brought. What I touched with my bright confidence, it died. And with the eye of my great faith shone, blood flowed up. Beware, gritty Proctor, cleave to no faith when that faith brings blood. It is mistaken law that leads you to sacrifice. Life is God's most precious gift, and no principle, however glorious, may justify the taking of it. Prevail upon your husband. Let him give his lie. And quail not before God's judgments. It may well be that God damns a liar less than he who throws his life away for pride. Will you please plead with him? I cannot think he will listen to another.
I think that be the devil's argument.
Woman, we are as swine before the laws of God. We cannot know his will.
I cannot dispute with you, sir. I lack learning.
Goody Proctor, you are not summoned here for disputation. Be there no wifely tenderness left in you? He will die with the sunrise. Your husband. Are you stoned? I tell you straight, be there no other evidence of your unnatural life, your dry eyes now would be enough evidence. A very ape would weep at this calamity. Has the devil dried up all the tears of pity in you? Remove her. It profit nothing that he speak with her.
Let me speak with him, Excellency.
You'll strive with him. You will plead for his confession, or will you not?
I promise nothing. Let me speak with him.
Pray, leave them, Excellency.
Mr. Proctor, I trust you've been notified. The sun is up. The town is waiting. Now counsel now with your wife. May God help you to turn your back on hell. That's all.
You desire a cup of cider, sir? I'm sure I can get you one. May God lead you now.
You have been chained.
Child.
It grows.
There's no word of the boys.
They're well. Rebecca's Daniel keeps them.
You have not seen them.
I have not.
You are a marvel, Elizabeth. They come for my life now.
I know it.
None have yet confessed.
There be many confess.
Who are they?
There be 100 or more, they say. Goody Ballard is one. Isaiah Goodkind is one. There's many.
Rebecca.
Not Rebecca. She has one foot in heaven now. Naught may hurt her more.
And Giles?
You have not heard it?
I hear nothing where I am kept.
Giles is dead.
When were he hanged?
He were not hanged. He would not answer A or nay to the indictment, for if he denied the charge, they'd hang him surely and auction out his property. So he stand mute and died Christian under the law.
How does he die?
They press him, John.
Press?
Great stones they lay upon his chest until he plead A or nay. They say he give but 2 words. More weight, he says, and then died.
More weight. More weight.
'Twere a fearsome man, Giles Corey.
I have been thinking I would confess to them. What say you if I give them that?
I cannot judge you, John.
What would you have me to do?
As you will, I would have it. I want you living, that's sure.
It's a pretense, Elizabeth.
What is?
I cannot mount the gallows like a saint. It is a fraud. I am not that man. My honesty is broke, Elizabeth. I am no good man. Nothing is spoiled by me giving them the lie that were not rotten long before.
And yet you've not confessed till now. That speak goodness in you.
Spite. Spite only keeps me silent now. It is hard to give a lie to dogs. I would have your forgiveness, Elizabeth.
It is not for me to give, John.
I would have you see some honesty in it. Let them that never lie die now to keep their souls. It is a pretense for me. A vanity that will not blind God nor keep my children out of the wind. What say you?
It come to naught that I should forgive you. Will you forgive yourself? It is your soul, John. Only be sure of this, for I know it now. Whatever you will do, it is a good man does it. I have read my heart these past 3 months. I have sinned of my own account. Takes a cold wife to prompt lechery.
Enough. Enough.
Better you should know me.
I will not hear it. I know you.
You take my sins upon you, John.
No! I take my own. My own.
I counted myself so plain, so poorly made, no honest love could come to me. Suspicion kissed you when I did. I never knew how I should say my love. 'Twere a cold
What
house
say
I
you,
kept.
Proctor? The sun is soon up.
Do as you will, but let none be your judge, for there is no judge under heaven higher than Proctor is.
I want my life.
You will confess.
I will have my life.
God be praised. It is a providence. He will confess. Proctor will confess.
Why do you cry it? It is evil, is it not? It is evil.
I cannot judge you, John.
Then who will judge me? God in heaven. What is John Proctor? I think it is honest. I think so. I am no saint. Let Rebecca go like a saint. For me it is a fraud.
I cannot judge you, John. Do as you will.
Would you give them this? Say it. Would you ever give them this? You would not. If tongues of fire were singeing you, you would not. It is evil. Good then. It is evil. And I do it.
God be praised. God be praised. Heaven shall surely bless you for this. Now then, give it to us. Are you ready, Mr. Chief?
Why must it be written?
For the good instruction of the people. This we will hang on the church door. Where's the marshal?
Willard, hurry.
Now then, speak slowly, directly to the point for Mr. Cheever's sake. Mr. Proctor, have you seen the devil in your life? Come now. Have you seen the devil in your life?
I have.
Praise God. And when he come to you, what were his demands? Did he bid you do the devil's work here on earth?
He did.
And you found yourself bound into his service without... Goody nurse, please come in.
Ah, John, you are well then, eh?
Let her witness your good example, that she too may turn her back on hell. Now hear it, goody nurse. Mr. Proctor, you found yourself bound into Satan's service, did you not?
Why, John?
I did.
Hear it, goody nurse. It profit nothing you continue this conspiracy any longer. Will you confess yourself?
Oh, John, God send his mercy on you.
I say, will you confess yourself, goody nurse?
Why? It is a lie. It is a lie. How may I damn myself? I cannot. I cannot.
Mr. Proctor, when you saw the devil, you saw someone in his company. Did you see her with the devil?
People have already said it. Why must I say it?
Why must you say it? Well, your soul should rejoice if it is purged of any love of hell.
They think to go like saints. I like not to spoil their names.
You think they go like saints, then you've mistaken your duty here, Mr. Proctor. She is here for the unnatural murder of children. You are here for sending your spirit out on merry woman. It is your soul alone that is the issue here. You must prove its whiteness, or you cannot live in my Christian country. Now, Mr. Proctor, who did you see with the devil? Did you see her with the devil?
I speak my own sins. I cannot judge another. I have no tongue for it.
Excellency, it is enough he confess it. Let him sign it. Let him sign it.
It is a great service, sir. It is a weighty name. It will strike upon the village that he confessed. I beg you, sir, let him sign it. The sun is up, Excellency. Please.
Good. Take it to him, Mr. Cheever. He will sign it.
You have all witnessed it. It is enough.
You will not sign your confession.
You have all witnessed it. What more is needed?
Mr. Proctor, you will sign this confession, or it is no confession. Now sign it. Sign it now. Your second name, mister.
Praise be to the Lord.
Now, Mr. Proctor, if you please.
No.
You will not give me your confession.
No. I have signed it. You have seen me. It is done. You have no need for this.
Proctor, the village must have proof that you've signed.
I confess to God. And God sees my name on this. It is enough.
Mr. Proctor, it is not enough. Let me assure you, I need your
You
confession.
came here to save my soul, did you not? Here I confess to myself. It is enough.
It is not enough.
I have confessed myself. Is there no good penitence but it be public? God does not need my name nailed upon the church. God sees my name. God knows how black my sins are. It is enough.
Mr. Proctor, I need your name.
You will not use me.
I do not mean to use you.
I have 3 children. How may I teach them to walk like men in this world? And I sold my friends.
You have not sold your
Beguile
friends.
me not. I blacken all of them when this is nailed to the church the very day they hang for
I
silence.
must have good and legal proof of your confession.
You are the High Court. Your very word is good enough. Tell them I confess to myself. Say Proctor broke his knees and wept like a woman. Say what you will, but my name cannot be used.
Is it not the same if I report it or if you sign it?
No, it is not the same. What others say and what I sign to is not the same.
Do you mean to deny this confession when you are free?
I mean to deny nothing.
Then explain to me, Mr. Proctor, why you will not confess.
Because it is my name! Because I cannot have another in my life. Because I lie and sign myself to lies. Because I am not worth the dust on the feet of them that hang. How may I live without my name? I have given you my soul. Leave me my name!
Mr. Proctor, is that document a lie? If it is a lie, I will not accept it. I deal not in lies. Proctor, the sun is up, the town is waiting. I cannot save you from the rope without honest confession. Do you hear me? I cannot save you from the rope without honest confession. Now, what way would you go?
Proctor!
Marshal, not you will hang!
Proctor!
Pray, Marshal.
Pray God it speak some goodness for me. Give them no tear. Show them a heart of stone and sink them with it.
Let you fear nothing. Nothing. There is a greater judgment awaits us all.
Marshal, hang them high over the town. Those that weep for these weep for corruption. Take them now.
Come, John.
John, I have not had my breakfast.
have not had my breakfast, John.
Go to him, goody Proctor. There is yet still time. Proctor! Proctor!
Woman, plead with him. It is pride. It is vanity. Be his helper. What shall it profit him to plead? Shall the dust praise him? Shall the worms declare his truth? Go to him. Take his shame away.
He has his goodness now. God forbid I take it from him.
In a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gifts that you have given us and the opportunity that we have had to share this message this evening. To God be the glory, great things he has done. To God be the glory, great things he will do through us. Amen. Amen. God bless you all. Have a wonderful evening.